Welcome! So here I am in Faerun City on the Aerial Heights server. I am sitting in what appears to be a hot tub or infinite spring, depends on how you look at it. I'm going to look at it as a hot tub today. And speaking of today I'm going to explain and illuminate about floAuction, a plugin that I've written. I'm going to try to go through some of the base auction functionality and whatever else I think of after that. Try not to go over 10 minutes here. So it's mostly command driven. If you type in /auction, oops, spell it correctly, very correctly, it is very sensitive to being spelled correctly, and you will see that you have a list of the different commands that you can have. This is not actually a full list. I need to get a extended list. It really is too long. The amount of stuff you can do with this is too long to really shove into one list on your screen here. But your basic syntax is auction, U-C-T-I-O-N, spell it correctly, start, and this is to start an auction, and it will auction off whatever you're holding in your hand. And if you make a mistake, you can always cancel it with auction cancel. Now I say you can always cancel it. That's not entirely true. There is a setting that your server administrator may put in where towards the end of the auction you can't cancel, and that is to protect the buyers from the seller saying I didn't get as much as I was hoping for and then canceling for that. The extended syntax on starting an auction allows you to specify how many, the price, the increment between bids, and the time in that order, and each is optional, but you have to include all the ones before. Like for instance, if you include the INC, which is the third one, then you have to include the price and the amount, etc. I will give you an example of this. Auction, and there are a couple of keywords you can use instead of the amount if you just want to auction what you're actually holding. And let me switch to something else here. If you just want to auction what you're holding of the item, oh, I should have gone over that before, shouldn't I have? The item that you're going to auction is whatever you're selected. So if I want to auction gold, I would select in my I don't know what that thing's called down there, but I would select in my hand the gold, or if I wanted to auction the potion, I would select that, or the bread, I would select that. And one of the keywords is this, auction, and the word start is actually optional. You do not have to include start if you include a quantity or one of these keywords. All will auction all of the bread that I have, and this will auction the amount of bread that I have in my hand at the moment. So if I had a whole inventory full of bread and I had one of them selected and I used auction this, it would only auction those 60 that I have in my hand there. And then I can specify the price that I want to start at, and our unit here is Nugas, so that's 4 Nugi, and the increment I could set it at 2, and then I would set the auction for 60 seconds. So this would be auctioning what's in my hand, starting at 4, increment of 2, and for 60 seconds. And you can see that all the information is spit out on the screen for whoever is bidding. I'm going to cancel this because these guys that are on the server with me probably think that I'm testing, because I do test on this server. When I do test, this is the server I test on. I don't normally test. I normally upload without testing. No, I'm kidding. I do actually test on a different server, but sometimes when they have a problem, I come in here and test on their server. So this is the main server I play on. I forgot where I was going. Okay, so let's just see what the next option is. Probably after an auction started, the next thing you're going to want to do is bid on it. And so I'm just going to auction some gold here. Oops, forgot to hit T. Auction 3. You can see if I specify 3, it'll only auction. Oh, can't auction this. Well, there's a reason for that, and there's a reason I picked gold, is because I wanted to bring this up. You can, as an administrator, specify items which are not allowed to be auctioned. The reason for this is there are a few reasons. One, you might want to... Oh, I am getting a little lag here. You might want to make it to where your players cannot auction things like bedrock or Ender Dragon spawn eggs, and those are actually the defaults. But on this server, we're using a plugin called Gold is Money, which I also wrote, which makes the currency actually use the gold in the inventory. And because of that, we've also disabled auctioning gold. So I'm going to auction some torches. 13 sounds like a good number. And to bid, you just type in /bid. Of course, it doesn't work bidding on your own auction. I thought there is a setting in the oh, this is great. There's a setting in the config where you can actually make it to where you can auction on your own, bid on your own auctions. And on the server I normally test on, that option is turned off, so I can bid on my own auctions because normally it's just me on the server. So I kind of forgot about that. But it's basically /bid, and it will bid the next increment. So the auction that I had started was starting at 1 Nugus with an increment of 1 Nugus. So if I had hit start at that point, it would have automatically chosen 1. Now if I typed bid 3, then it would, instead of bidding 1, it would bid 3 Nugi, and then the next /bid would go to 4 if they didn't type in an amount. There's also the option to, I'm getting close, I was trying to keep it under 10 minutes, I'm getting a little close. There's an option for a hidden amount which you specify in the bid right after the, I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor, but I'm kind of pointing at it. I told Fraps to leave my mouse cursor in there, so maybe you can see it wiggling around that 45 there. And if I had bid 3 and then 45, then the next person who bid, if they bid less than 45, the system would automatically increase my bid up to 45, but only as much as it takes to outbid the other person who bid. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it can be a little bit spammy, so I've put in an option where people can turn the auction software off. All you have to do is type in /auction off, and while it's off, you can't do anything with the auction until you type /auction on again. Sorry, a little sniffles here. Let's see here, a few other auction info. If I type in auction info while an auction is going, it will simply repeat the opening information thing. And all of the text in this auction software is completely customizable. Customizable to the extent that you could have this in an entirely different language just by editing the language.yml file that gets created when you install the low disk space, when you install the plugin. So I guess I have a little ADD there. If you want to suspend a user, if you want to suspend all the auctions, and this is an admin command, suspend auction suspend will just suspend all auctions for everybody, and that's probably useful if you have something important that's going on, like an event, and